Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out the time and talking to us on ET Now Startup Central. Innovation really being the theme of this conference. What do you have to say about the innovation scene here in India and the bustling startup ecosystem that we see?
So the innovation scene is not just alive and well, but is thriving. In India, if you're talking about specifically, I don't know if you know the numbers, but India right now is the third largest hub for startups in the world after US and UK. That's saying a lot. There's a lot of funding coming in. And from a technology perspective, we have huge number of startups now in India, which is all being enabled by the ecosystem. So there's funding coming in, the government is enabling it, the organizations themselves are realizing that we have to be innovative and change. So it's positive.
As far as the plans that Accenture has for startups in terms of engagement, you are already acting as a bridge for startups, connecting them to your clients. Take us through how that experience has been and how does it go forward from here?
Okay, so we have something what we call an open innovation platform where we work with startups in the Indian industry. So I'm talking specifically about India, but we do this globally in the Indian industry. So we have very specific areas that we look at from our perspective, whether it's IoT or artificial intelligence or digital, etc. and consumer experience, where we look for startups in that space. We curate them and we work with a large ecosystem. We don't just curate them ourselves. We curate them working with a larger ecosystem, whether it's CII where we are here, or industry hubs, or research, or academics, or VCs and PE funds. And then we act as bridge makers. So that will be done in very different ways. So one could be where we take them to our clients, right? And to our clients to help them innovate or solve their business problem. The second could be where we bring our clients to India to engage with startups, right? And we have many examples of that. The third would be where we have the resources, we have the market, right? So we would do joint go-to-market strategy because these are interesting startups and new spaces, right? But we have the consumer relationships, we have the customers inside. So we'll do joint go-to-market strategies. Then there are other areas where we are bringing them in to disrupt ourselves in India itself, where we are disrupting how we work. So we are bringing them in to disrupt our technology, our assets, how we work, bring new things in. Then we do M&As, so we do acquire some of them where it's necessary, and we've done a couple of them, or we take equity stakes in them. So this is a whole range of ways that we're working with them in different ways.
While you do take equity stakes, I believe you don't have an India-specific fund, so to say, to engage with startups. Is that an option that you will look at, a more dedicated sort of an approach to ensure you start actively funding startups?
So we are a global organization, right? And when we look at startups, we are actually looking across the globe and we're looking at the best that there are. So it's not specifically India only. India happens to be a large one for us and we're focusing a lot on it. So we do have a fund, but it's a globally held fund. So geography is irrelevant. So we do fund startups in India. We have done that. We are taking investments. We have done M&As. So the pool that's available to us is a larger fund. So that answers your question?
All right. Yeah. Last few questions. There have been reports about artificial intelligence really being the forefront for IT companies and how it would really impact hiring. How do you view that at a sector perspective and also at Accenture India? How much of an impact would that have?
So is artificial intelligence disrupting both our clients and IT companies and how we live and work? Yes, of course it is. But it's in a positive manner because what it is doing is it is removing some of the transactional work, right, and allowing people to get into more higher value-added work. So I see that as a big positive. I don't see that as a negative. One. Two, is it changing hiring at all? It's changing the type of skills that you're hiring. What you were hiring for earlier, you may be hiring different skills now. So the overall numbers don't change, the type of jobs change that you hire for.
All right. Lastly, for startups really watching this show, if they do want to be part of your innovation program, what are the 3-4 things that you want them to have to be able to apply for Accenture?
So in our case, one, they have to be in the spaces that we've defined, right? So we have 5-6 spaces that we've very clearly defined, which are important either to us or to our clients, right? So they have to be in those spaces, and I'd already mentioned some of them earlier. Second, in our case, they have to have certain proven technology, which is different and differentiated, because there has to be a differentiation before we would work with them, right? So there's something that they are bringing to the table. And third, of course, would be that they have to be in a segment that we not already have, because we already have a lot of startups that we're working with, so they have to be in a differentiated segment, which is solving our, again, back to, is it going to solve our client's problem? Is it going to solve our problem? Or is it going to help us disrupt ourselves for the future? It has to meet one of these three needs.
On that note, thank you so much. Wonderful having you on the show. Thanks so much.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.